your thoughts on Bryce?
I don't like Bryce. She's not, there's not much to her. Like,
Yeah.
like she's a badass and she wears her cute little dresses and her high heels and she's sexy and everybody loves her. All the men love her. And she's a nice person and she's smart. She's like all the things. But that's it. She's strong and she's smart and she's sexy. She's the dream. But she does have some flaws where that, like you said, she's a collector of things. And she was going to help this boy, even though it could kill her and everyone around her. Yeah. I consider that to be a flaw because she's not taking other people's life in consideration. It's admirable, but it's still a little bit of a flaw. Other than that, she has no flaws.
Yeah. Well, other than she don't talk to people about what she's doing. She reminds me a lot of Aileen in the way she kept her mouth shut.
Yeah.
When interplotting. And it's like, didn't we learn from the first one? We don't do that. Mm-hmm. Like, we in places that are not good, but at the same time, I feel like it reflects her as a character because she is an independent person. She's had to make it on her own for quite some time. And so she's just created a world where she operates solely as the main driver and has a hard time letting other people operate it with her, you know? And so it's like, I wish, my hope in book 3 is that we get like this other deeper level because now she's separated from the people she loves, like 110%, and is stuck in a world where she knows no one. So, yeah. But I wasn't for the Hunt and her like romance. Like it was like a 6, 7 out of 10. It wasn't really a 10 for me. I was there for it, but I was like, come on, give me more.
Yeah, I like, okay, once again, I'm not a big Akotar fan. So I don't really know the whole mate lore that everybody else is. I watched a couple of booktubers talk about the book, and like everyone's like, oh my god, they're mates. I didn't see that coming. And everyone's like shocked, and it's just like over my head. So I don't get that. But I didn't like them nearly as much as I liked Feyre and Rhysand. I felt like they were hot. And they were the only reason why I read book 2, because they were hot in book 1. But I didn't get any of that heat with Hunt and Bryce.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's an underdeveloped situation between them because they're just understanding or starting to learn what it means to be mated. Because as Hunt talks about it, he's like, this is like from olden times, like old, like you don't find a mate, like, you know. And so I don't think they understand the complexity of it, if you will. And so that might be why it's less attractive, is because, you know, with Rhysand and Feyre, it was like this whole big thing, right? Okay. And it's like, so I don't think they understand it. And I think they're going to. I think that might be like the purpose of it. But it's like a slow burn still. I'm still slow burning over here. And it's like, but I want the Ruin and Daybreaker crap. Like, that was great. I was like, what is happening? You know? So let's, I guess we'll just go down the list. Do you want to talk about Ruin?
Yeah. Was the Hind in this one?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember her. My problem with the Hind and Pippa was that I felt like there was a lot of telling about how horrible they were and how maniacal they were, but there was not a lot of showing. So I never saw the Hind be a horrible person. I was just kept being told so. Mm-hmm. And so when it was revealed that she was Daybreaker, I was just like, because I didn't really know her. So I didn't develop any like, oh my God, yay, or oh my God, ew. I didn't really know her.
I'm still shocked. I am still shocked. I thought I see, and I there was a moment in the book where I was like, I swear to goodness, if it's the Hind, I'm gonna pee my pants. And I did, because I was secretly hoping it wasn't, just because I was sick and tired of the interwoven spider web between everyone. Just for my brain personally, it was like having a hard time wrapping it around, you know, Baxian and Danica, and then you're gonna throw that there. I'm like, what? You know? So it wasn't bad, but I was like, oh, I wonder if it was. And then we kind of skiddly booted across it, and I was like, oh, okay. And then it happened, and I was like, oh, because yet again, you're right. We didn't have, the Hind wasn't speaking in a lot of the books. We didn't see her like physically massacre all of these people, you know, like it's talked about. But she sends like the harpy to do her bidding. Like, so she uses the harpy to do it because she is actually a rebel. Then she just want to do it herself.
I mean, it makes sense.
I'm like,
at the end, you find out, but still.
But still, it's like, woof, you know. And so their whole relationship, I was there for, because I like Rune. I really do. I am there for him 100%. I feel for him big time. So I really like him. And I like the fact that he's not being like an over brooding brother. That's like when Bryce steps into her power and all of that stuff and whatever, he's not like, you can't go anywhere. He's like, oh, okay, I guess we're all going along with, but could you just maybe like just let us know what you're doing? Type of, I don't know. Their relationship is beautiful, and I really like it, personally. Therian, and I was actually glad that he left the, what is she called?
The River Queen.
Thank you. The River Queen. But he makes dumb choices. The boy makes dumb choices, like very like rash, like, oh crap, we're in a situation, I guess I should just leave. And he runs to the Viper Queen of all people. And it's like, excuse me? You're gonna sell your freedom to someone else, and she's just as bad. I don't get that.
Maybe they're setting them up for a relationship.
If it's a relationship, it's gonna be him and the dragon, whatever that cheeky poo is.
Girl, I skipped all that. I was over it. I'm like, I can't take any more characters.
Oh no. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, let's talk about Hypaxia. She and Miss Celestina, the other Archangel, did not see that coming.
Oh, okay. No.
That thing makes perfect sense, because it was Celestina when she's supposed to be mated to this guy, and she's like, I am not having it, yada yada yada, like I don't want it. Like, oh, she's a lover somewhere, but did not see that coming at all. And you can see the start of like a love triangle between Hypaxia and Therian a little bit in Ruin, if you wanted to like put one there, because he definitely has got some hots for her.
Therian? Mm-hmm. Oh,
she goes, oh.
I don't remember that, but
yep. What's the other one? Okay, so Ethan.
Ugh,
what
the story?
Yeah. Okay. I did not see like the whole thing with the mystic and all that stuff happening, where he like finds the lost like Fendir alpha that's been missing, which makes sense because Danica's mom, what's her name?
Sabine.
Thank you, Sabine, has been on like this rocker about protecting her title and what's going to be hers and all of this stuff. And the prime's still up and kicking and whatever. And so I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. But again, it's a lot. You know? So yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we get into the last part?
I remember in our first podcast that we were very upset that there was no booty time. So there was a lot of booty time in this one. So what are your thoughts?
I thought it was good though in a lot of ways because it wasn't like a whole bunch of like 15 pages of booty time. Does that make sense? Like it was sprinkled in there well, in my opinion. What about you? What was your favorite booty time? Let's talk about that. What's your favorite booty time?
I hate to say this, but I was skipping over it. I don't like them. And I didn't like the talk during because it was cringy. And I read the first two, but after the sweaty oral, I was over it. I'm like, I don't care about them anymore. So I felt bad because I knew we were going to talk about it, but I was like, I don't know.
Oh, it's okay because I watched a booktuber, I forget her name, but she was like, I'm sorry, but if my man is talking to me while we about to get it on, he's not doing it right.
I think I saw her too.
So that was hilarious because I like bypass all the talking because I like in my brain I'm like, let's just get it over with and move on. And I'm like, he's just talking to her doing it, but I'm like, do you talk that much? Like what? So it was funny. Because then when I looked back on it, I was like, oh yeah, there was a lot of like, do you like this? Give me all the purrs and whatever and stuff like that. Like,
that's all I really had.
Okay. Let's talk about the end then, because I feel like we got into a lot with it. She says goodbye to her mate and her brother finally spills the guts of like, you need to step in and be queen that you are because of everything that you hold in your power. It's not me, it's gonna be you. Which that was all beautiful. All the goodbyes were all beautiful and it was really sad and I was crying and it was great. But then, she jumps into the gate hoping to find Adius, the Prince of Hell, and she, lo and behold, lands in Rhysand's court. And guess who picks her up? Our own shadow singer, Azriel. Azriel picks her up. And you know how I know this? Because it references his scarred hands. And I was like, excuse me? Okay. And so then she's brought into Rhysand and Thera's like house basically. And she meets Amren, she meets Nesta and Cassian. I didn't see a reference to Mor. Did you see a reference to Mor at all?
I don't even know who these people you are talking about are. I told you I didn't get past book 2.
Okay.
So this was all lost on me.
Oh no, Dawn. Oh no. Okay. I'll dissect as best I can for you. So she gets there and she's like talking to them, and Amren is like, honey, no one has spoken your language in a very long time. Like they're all speaking in a different language. No one can understand her in any capacity. And so Rhysand being almighty Rhysand, who always like knows everything, he reminds me a lot of Aileen in a lot of retrospects. Like he just has like so much knowledge. He introduces himself and is like, hello, Bryce Quinlan. My name is Rhysand. And like that was it, you know. And so all that happened there is that her star sword ends up on the ground, which is twin to Azriel's sword, Shadow Singer, or Shadow Slayer, I think is the name, which if you remember in the book, Ruin's gift is shadows. And Rhysand looks like Ruin. Like she's like, oh my gosh, like he looks like Ruin without Ruin's tattoos and his piercings and stuff like that. So that whole thing happens. And now I don't know where this book's gonna go. Because now you're intermixing two very, very big worlds. Very big worlds. You know, and there was a blip at the end of, what is it? What was the last one? No. Oh my gosh. What is the last book in the Throne of Glass series? What's the name? Do you remember? What is it?
Kingdom
of Ash.
Okay.
Kingdom of Ash. Okay. So the last book of Kingdom and Ash, Aileen skips worlds as well and waves to Rhysand. That's a whole thing that happens there. So now it's like, now Bryce has teleported into Rhysand and Feyre's world. And it's like, so now I have all these questions where it's, you know, did the Asteri infiltrate their world as well? Were, you know, what was the Val like part of the Asteri as well? Like, were they a part of the same world because they don't remember where their world is? Like, there's all these thoughts in my head. So, yeah, I did not see that coming at all.
I didn't see it coming. I was kind of bummed because I would have rather she jumped to the Throne of Glass universe just because I'm more familiar with it. And so the ACOTAR is lost on me. But
as you said, I think she is writing for her fans because there's also like something going around where it's like they should have seen the title referencing something because the House of Sky and Breath is like a reference to ACOTAR. So yeah. So now I have no idea what to think in my brain. Because I don't want to say it because I'm going to spoil everything for you. Anyway, not going to do it.
Well, I don't care.
Because there's just so many left untold stories in the Court of Thorns and Roses series that are still left like dealt with. Like Azriel is still not mated. We don't know who his mate is. And we just had Cassian and Nesta's story. So now it's like, is he going? How does that all work? And why does Rhysand look like Rune? What does that mean? Who, you know, is Bryce's father the Autumn King? Is he, you know, the descendant of the Autumn Court? Like, is that a thing? Is Rune a descendant of the Night Court from his mom's side? Like all of these, all of these things, I have questions about because Rune has same dark hair, very similar colored eyes. Bryce looks a lot like Lucian. So yeah, all these things.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right.
I think that wraps it up, don't
Yeah.
What are your guys' theories? Dawn and I want to know because poor Dawn probably won't join the next read with me. Unless you finish the Kotar series, then we can chat.
I'm not going to finish that series.
What's your problem?
It's too convoluted. It's too much. I like a very simple plot and character development. I don't like all that stuff happening. I don't like it.
That's okay. Ashley likes it. I'll tell it to you for you. Well, we really appreciate you guys joining us for our discussion on House and Sky and Breath. We don't know where our next book is, Dawn.
Is it All the Rage?
Are we reading All the Rage? You're right. We're reading All the Rage. Which is that the
Saba?
It's the Saba one, right?
Yeah.
Saba Tahir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All the Rage by Saba Tahir. I thought we were reading Gallant by V.E. Schwab. So I apologize first.
Well, I have All the Rage checked out and it's due back in like 8 days. So I think we should just do that one first.
We're going to do All the Rage by Saba Tahir, which I'm excited to read though, because like Saba wrote Ember in the Ashes and Dawn and I both loved Ember in the Ashes. The rest of the series is, to each his own opinion. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go for us.
It's realistic fiction. That's my only reservation.
We can do it. We can do it, Dawn. We're branching out. It's gonna be great. So if you ever pop on YouTube, Dawn sometimes posts our videos to YouTube as well. And she's been doing some posts on Instagram for us as well, because she's got all the time to read for us. So we really appreciate you joining us, and we will catch you in the next podcast.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.